Saturday morning, October the 18th. Rise and shine. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's doing in the world of weather, hopefully getting your day started off on the right note. I would simply start off by saying, it is absolutely beautiful. This is a look outside on our Tower Cam network. That's a check in on things over in downtown Orlando. Hey, I mean, maybe it could be prettier. I don't know. That's kind of nice, you ask me. Let's look elsewhere, see what's doing, because we're watching this kind of little ribbon of clouds sneaking in. Let me take you over to Ocala. It got down into the lower fifth, like downtown Ocala got to 52 degrees this morning. Seriously, that's awesome. Meanwhile, downtown Orlando was at like 56. We go over to the shoreline here, and there's more clouds. This is a live look at that. There's somebody going out on a boat. Look at you. Oh, I hid you. There we go. Now I can see you. Is this live? Yes, this is live. Good morning. Got Scara on YouTube. I recognize the picture. Jessica Bow, good morning. I'm living for this weather. This is so nice, isn't it? Yeah, look at that live tower cam shot. There's more. Usually my name says Kara. Yes, yeah. I was gonna say, Kara, I'm used to you being on Facebook where I could see your name. I recognize the picture though. But it shows God's Kara on YouTube. So anyway, beautiful here in Port Orange this morning, Jan says. It is beautiful everywhere. Now, there are clouds, but I do want to add that while we do have plenty of clouds, yes, it's all bark and no bite. Take a look at our live first warning Doppler radar. There's nothing going on. I'll switch over to the Melbourne radar. Nothing going on. So, yeah, I mean, we are quiet this morning. It's absolutely beautiful out. Look at some of these temperatures around town, right? It's 66 in the city, 60 degrees in Leesburg, 58 in the Villages, 57 in Ocala. So, yeah, Bruce says it was cold in Oviedo. Buddy, I get that, right? Like, this is cool. This is definitely cool weather. So this morning, don't judge me, but for the what to wear forecast, I did say long sleeves. I mean, I've been saying it for a couple of days, but like this to me, this is long sleeve weather. I think so. Temperatures in the 60s, that especially mid 60s, and we've seen some like lower 50s. I think it's long sleeve weather. You can judge all you want, but that's where we're at. This afternoon, you don't need the long sleeves. It's going to be beautiful. Temperatures climbing into the lower range of the 80s. Yeah, that's going to be just fine. Lots of events around town. Biketoberfest, my friends. I saw somebody mentioning it just a second ago. If you're heading out this weekend, it's looking great. Fall at its finest, right? 80 for today. It does get warmer tomorrow, so we kind of have to balance that out a little bit. You know what I mean? It is what it is. That's going to be okay. If you're heading out to the attractions, Magic Kingdom, looking great. I don't believe that there's a not so scary party today, which means you go and you can play late. Carol says, I wore a sweatshirt. Right? Or a sweatshirt walking the dog. Christine Washington, it didn't feel quite as cool in Melbourne this morning, probably because the air was so still. Well, and that's the problem, is because the air was so still, it snuck in some of that Atlantic moisture to you. So, like, for example, if we look at the Brevard, this is just the live temperatures right now. Look at how Melbourne Beach was at 70. This is right now. These temperatures update every 5 minutes. 76 Melbourne Beach, 72 Melbourne International. Palm Bay is 64, right? So that's the difference right there. That's the big difference maker, right? So anyway, we were talking about the attractions. I did Universal on the air. Let's do Islands of Adventure. Opens up at 9 a.m. Looks great, right? Great sunshine, comfortable temperatures. You're going to want the sunscreen for a day like today, right? Gator fans, got to talk about you. Tailgating for a 4:15 kickoff is going to be great. About 84 degrees in the swamp. It's going to be a beautiful day. Mississippi State coming to town. Ooh, I went to Mississippi State. So I got to cheer on Mississippi State, even if it could have been any other team. I'm going to cheer on them, but that's okay. I love college football. There's like a little bit of trash talking, but it's all friendly. Yeah, Mississippi State coming to town against the Gators is going to be great. This is going to be a fun one at UCF today. West Virginia coming to town, and it's fun because Manalfi's working tonight. Otherwise, I know he would be at the game because Manalfi, whether or not you know this, prior to working at Wesh, Manalfi was a chief meteorologist in West Virginia. I believe that's where he picked his wife. He picked her out of the crowd in West Virginia. Um, I'm 99.9% sure that that's the way that worked. Anyway, she's a big West Virginia fan. So I remember 2 years ago we were hanging at the West Virginia game, but Manalfi's working today. And sidebar, let's talk for a minute about that. So why is Manalfi working today? I'm working because Cam's taking a couple of days off. Super deserved. Why is Manalfi working? Because Marquise, whether or not you know this, Marquise is a veteran, served in the United States military, and I forget the official title, but he's going on an honor flight today to DC, which is so wonderful. I believe it's also the first time Marquise has ever been to DC, which, being that he served in the military, I feel like this is way overdue. So he's a superstar when it comes to the TikTok. I mean, I feel like I'm too old and grumpy for the TikTok, but I haven't looked either. But I hope that he does some TikTok and does the posts and kind of just documents this trip because I feel if you've never seen one of these honor flights, they are the most touching things I have ever seen. I was at Reagan Airport one day when an honor flight was coming, when an honor flight was coming in, and they were handing out American flags to just the people in the terminal, saying, "We want to support the men and women that served." So and it was so touching. So anyway, I hope Marquise. I'm sure he's not watching Coffee Talk, but if you are, um, um, feeling the vibes. I hope you're feeling nothing but amazing, amazing vibes. Amazing, amazing vibes because it is I'm so excited for him. I'm so excited for the veterans that got to go do that. So yeah, very, very, very excited. Jeannie Rowan, the boss, is working on a Saturday. Listen, TV, we work all over the place. It just is what it is, you know? Betty O'Connor says, if anyone is going to the swamp today, our daughter signs the national anthem while it's being sung. I love that, Betty. That's something to be proud of. Linda Shepard on YouTube says, my dad was on an honor flight about 10 years ago as a World War II veteran. So glad he got to go. He passed a few years back. The greatest generation. I love the way Eric calls it the TikTok. I even call it TikTok. I mean, I picked that up from Al Roker. I can't claim responsibility for it. So anyway, so that's why Manolfi's working today. But no matter what we're doing here, it's just going to be lovely. I hope no matter what you're doing, we have an opportunity to enjoy. All right, let's talk a little bit about the tropics, right? Any other questions about this before we move on? Thank you, Marquise, for your service. Such an honor to go on this flight. My daughter's school sang the national anthem at Solar Bears game last night. I love it. I love it. All right. Okay, let's talk about the tropics, my friends. First off, here we are. Jason says, heading to Port Canaveral, leaving on a cruise in the morning. Keep the tropics clean, please. A, I'll try to. B, I want to go on a cruise. Oh, where's your cruise going, Jason? Let me live vicariously through you, please. All right, so here we are in the tropics. There are two areas of interest, neither of which have a huge concern of development. First one is in the North Atlantic. Okay, Kaimi says, hi, Eric. I will be in St. James City this week and Marathon next Saturday through Tuesday. How are we looking for the keys? First off, you may be the only other person I have ever seen talk about St. James City. I spent a lot of time in St. James City years ago. Is the waterfront still there? The restaurant? All the way south? St. James City. Y'all, that's a blast from the past out on Pine Island. Oh my goodness gracious. Ugh, amazing. All right, anyway. Uh there's gonna be some cold fronts. So all in all, we're looking pretty good. We'll just say all in all, we're looking pretty good. So okay, here we are. Two areas. Jason says St. James City secrets out now. Yeah, I've heard that it's definitely louder. Tony says I have to. I Tony's baiting a hook, and I have to. Any coincidence that since the government shut down, zero streak clouds? Coincidence? Contrails are still a thing. Condensation coming out of the back of an engine is still a thing, but I digress. Anyway, all right. Two areas to track in the tropics. I'm cold right now, Tanya says. I get it. Two areas to track in the tropics. The one in the North Atlantic, non-tropical. Kind of a double-barreled low, frankly. Non-tropical. There's a little opportunity for it to develop some subtropical traits. Not a huge thing. So we're just going to move on beyond that. Not even really hardly worth talking about. The second one, in the open waters of the Atlantic, it's unorganized. It's a little squally. It's nothing crazy. Not sure we're looking to possibly move there, have friends in Bokeelia, so that's where we'll be. Oh, I love it, Kaimi. I love it. I love that area. Although I hear Matt Lachey is getting completely turned over from what it used to be, that cool charm pre-hurricane. Ah, boy, memories on Pine Island. Good gravy, you're throwing me back. Wow. Anyway, all right. So this is an area that we'll have to watch. Has a low end chance of forming. The models have been going back and forth on it. So obviously, the social media machine is like, oh my God, there's a hurricane. It's going to come and it's going to get all of us. But that's not what we're going to talk about here. What we're going to talk about here is going to be us tracking the real data. Okay. You're not going to get the hype here. So let's do the no hype. All right. First off, let's just dial up the American GFS and let's zoom it in, shall we? All right. Going through time. Timestamp top right corner of your screen. John says low rider system looks like. Indeed. All right. So GFS. Oh, it's doing GFS things. First off, all right. So this is Tuesday, 8 a.m. coffee talk time. I'll be sitting right here because I'll be doing the morning show. Watch what it does. Develops an area of low pressure south of Dominican Republic, Haiti, and then a Central America low. Look at that. What? Sounds like me. Unsqually and disorganized. I know, dude, right? I feel you there, David. So the GFS wants to develop two areas, and then the GFS just loves a Fujiwara this year. Like, it just loves a good Fujiwara. All right, that's probably not going to happen. Okay, let's go back and look. That was a 60. So that was the current run, 6 Zulu time. Let's go to the 0Z, 6 hours before. Let's look at the GFS. I mean, maybe it does. Loves a good Fujiwara this year. Ay, 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 ay. All right, so two of those. Let's go back to the 18Z yesterday. Boy, it's the GFS. Oh, the GFS wants to give Puerto Rico a hurricane. I have a friend who's cruising on Disney next week, going right to Puerto Rico. Okay. The good news is, like, right there, around Halloween, it's giving us a cold front. So there's that. All right, let's look at the European. Oh, GFS. You always give us fun. You always give us something to laugh at. Tony. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. So clearly, what's so interesting is the Euro. You see the blues in the Caribbean. The the Euro is not developing this. It's bringing it west. The GFS wants to develop a couple of things. You get a low and you get a low. European not really doing that. And then beyond 144 hours out, it eventually tries. Look at that. That's a sweet cold front, right? Look at that. That's a sweet cold front, right? Oh, y'all, if that plays out the way the Euro says it, Priscilla, the 540 line. Listen, we're not there. We're not there yet. Jonathan says it's been pretty consistent with that Halloween cold front. If we could just get the timing to work out perfectly, chef's kiss. I can't promise it, but oh, if we could. Oh man. All right. That cold front. Oh, right. If it times out that way, like that would be showers. I want this run. Okay, hold on. Pause. Full screen. I don't hype hurricanes, but I will hype the snot out of a cold front. Because by the time we get into the cold fronts for fall, I'm ready for them. Now, winter, I grow tired of them, so I start hyping the heat. But I don't hype hurricanes. So, anyway, that said, I want this European run to be actual. In other words, this is 6Z on Friday. This is Halloween. That's 2 a.m. Rain, clouds, showers. That's 8 a.m. starting to clear out. That's 2 p.m. clearing and cooling. If this plays out, that's 8 p.m. on Friday, Halloween. That would be a clear, cool Halloween. All I'm saying is if I had my druthers, if the atmosphere could listen, that would be nice. Mm. Tony, I'd love to take the kids trick or treating without bursting into flames walking out the door. I know. I know. I know. What are y'all gonna be? Like that's the thing in Florida. It's not. It's like so often hot. That would be nice. Now, if it slows down a smidge, it's all off. It's hot. So anyway, my vote is for this current run of the European to play out exactly how it wants to. But that's not what we're doing. We're not at the moment. We're not tracking Halloween. We're trying to track the tropics. Amy says, "Quick, make a sacrifice to the atmosphere gods." I sacrifice. What do I sacrifice? What should we sacrifice? I have some peanut butter crackers. Can we say? What do we have? Peanut butter crackers? Anyone? Jonathan says coffee. Is it worth sacrificing coffee? All right, I've got some cold coffee. Like it cold, it chilled out. What about that? What is cool? Listen, it's not hot. That's what it is. All right, let's get back over and track the tropics. We'll back this up. GFS ensemble, multi-member. Okay. All right. Now to the ensembles. Dad says sacrifice eyeglasses. I'll be like Mr. Magoo here. Literally, I can kind of see it. Nope, we're gonna use the glasses. Most of the ensembling, just about all the ensembling, GFS at least, it develops stuff, but look it keeps it all east of us. Like I like that. I like what I'm seeing. The ensembles are wanting to keep it east of us. Perfect. Love that. All right, let's go over to the Euro ensembles. Not really, not much developing. Look at that. Now, the Euro eventually does hop on board, and it's a little closer to Florida because Weaker goes further west, right? All right, Euro AI. Trying, but nothing crazy there. Yeah. So look, around it's going to come down to where it develops, how quickly it develops. If it develops at all, then it's going to come down to that cold front. If it goes further west a little quicker, that front could throw it into the west coast of Florida. Hopefully that front times out, it keeps it east of us. There's a cold front coming, right? Now, let's look at just for fun. Look, just for fun, because I know you're going to ask for this. So why not just lead you? If there's a cold front on Halloween, what is it going to mean for our temperatures? Let's look. GFS, cities. Hold on, I'm going to get there. Give me a second. A lot of data. Oh, that's upper air. I want surface temperatures. Come on. All right. Stand by. All right, so that's 8 p.m. So that's 8 p.m. GFS on Halloween. Just for fun. Look, this is going to change. You know it and I know it, but we can at least look. 60s and lower 70s according to the GFS. All right. Let's look at the European. Stand by. That's the 24th. I have to go to the 0Z. Okay, now that's why I wanted this to work. The 0Z European shows trick-or-treating temperatures in the low to mid 60s. Again, raw. This is the meteorologist in me like, one model run, raw data, not a forecast. Gah, I want that forecast. So, anyway, that would be nice. Is that going to play out? Probably not. But a guy can dream, right? I mean, that's just me. So, anyway, that's what we're looking at there. That would be amazing. Amy says, that sounds lovely. Yep. Yep. Coffee talk becoming a joke. I feel like this is the same thing we've done for like a decade. Frank says, hype them lows. You know it. You know it. Jeannie Rowan, I would love that forecast. You and me both. You and me both would love that forecast. Yep. Yep. So nice. Oh, we've got like a minute to the cut in. Okay, very good. I guess that's all I've got for you then. I got to go run, do some TV. Listen, thank you all for hanging out. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Whatever you do today, make it a great day. Look at that. That's a gorgeous forecast. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you all so much. We'll see you on TV, and then I'll see you tomorrow morning for Coffee Talk. In just we'll do the BSR tomorrow. I'm running out of time. All right. All right.